Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by acknowledging that sometimes life doesn't go as planned. Sometimes we find ourselves standing in the midst of uncertainty, wondering where we are headed, wondering how we're going to make it through. And those moments can be frightening. They can leave us feeling lost, frustrated, and helpless. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to today. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what challenges or obstacles are in your path, there is always a way forward. Even when you can't see it, even when you don't understand how it's possible, a way will be made. It's easy to feel stuck when life throws curveballs at you, when the job you were counting on falls through, when the relationship you thought would last forever ends, when the dream you've been working toward feels like it's slipping through your fingers. We've all been there. We've all had those moments when it feels like every door is closing, every opportunity is fading, and every plan we had for ourselves is unraveling before our eyes. But I'm here to tell you that just because you can't see the way forward right now doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because the road ahead looks uncertain doesn't mean you're at a dead end. Life has a way of working things out, often in ways that we could never predict or imagine. What looks like a setback today might be setting you up for a breakthrough tomorrow. What feels like a loss right now might actually be creating space for something even greater. Think about all the times in your life when you thought you wouldn't make it through, when you were facing something that seemed impossible, and you couldn't see how you were going to get to the other side. And yet here you are. You made it through. You found a way, or perhaps the way found you. And if it happened before, it can happen again. The key is to trust that even when you can't see the whole picture, even when you don't know how things are going to turn out, you're being guided to where you need to be. We live in a world that likes to make us believe that we have to have everything figured out, that we need to know the plan, have the answers, and map out every step of the way. But life doesn't work like that. The path isn't always clear, and sometimes it's not even visible. But that doesn't mean the path isn't there. Sometimes the way is revealed one step at a time. Sometimes the road opens up in front of us only after we've taken a step forward, even when we're stepping into the unknown. It's in those moments of uncertainty that we learn what it means to trust the process, to have faith that even when we don't see how things are going to work out, they are. And I want you to think about this. How many times have you been surprised by the way things unfolded in your life? How many times did you think you were at the end of your rope, only to find that you were actually at the beginning of something new, something beautiful, something better than what you had imagined? The truth is, life has a way of making a path where there seems to be none. And often the way forward doesn't look like what we expected. It doesn't follow the timeline we had in mind, but it happens. It happens when we least expect it. It happens when we stop trying to force things to happen and instead allow things to unfold. It happens when we release the need to control every outcome and instead trust that what is meant for us will always find a way to reach us. I've seen this truth play out in my own life so many times. There were moments when I was sure that things weren't going to work out, moments when the obstacles seemed too big and the road ahead too uncertain. But every single time, just when I thought I had reached a dead end, a way opened up. It wasn't always the way I had envisioned, but it was always the way that led me to where I was meant to go. And I know that's true for you too. I know that no matter what you're facing right now, no matter how impossible things may seem, there is a way. There is a way through the challenges, through the pain, through the uncertainty, and that way will be revealed to you one step at a time. You don't have to see the whole path right now. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to trust that there is a way, and it will become clear when the time is right. One of the most powerful things you can do in times of uncertainty is to stop resisting and start surrendering. I know that sounds counterintuitive because we're taught to fight, to push, to keep going no matter what. And while there is power in perseverance, there is also power in letting go. When you surrender, you're not giving up, you're giving over. You're releasing the need to control everything, and you're making space for new possibilities to emerge. You're allowing life to guide you instead of trying to force things to happen on your own timeline. Surrender doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means showing up, doing your part, and then trusting that the way will be made. It means letting go of the need to know every detail of how things are going to unfold and instead trusting that everything is happening in divine timing. Sometimes the way forward isn't revealed until we stop trying to control every aspect of our lives. Sometimes we have to step back, take a deep breath, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. And I know that's hard. I know it's hard to let go of the plans we've made, the expectations we've set, and the vision we have for how we think things should go. But the beauty of life is that it often has something even greater in store for us than what we've imagined. The way forward may not look like what we had in mind, but it is always the way that leads us to where we need to be. I want to remind you today that no matter how stuck you feel, no matter how many doors have closed, no matter how many times you've tried and failed, there is still a way forward. You are not at the end of your story. You are in the middle of it. And the chapter you're in right now might feel tough. It might feel uncertain, but it is not the end. It is a part of the journey that is leading you to something greater. Every obstacle you face, every challenge you overcome, every setback you experience is part of the process of becoming who you are meant to be. It's shaping you, it's strengthening you, it's preparing you for what's next. And sometimes the way forward is revealed in the struggle. Sometimes it's in the moments of difficulty that we discover our greatest strengths, our deepest truths, and our most profound wisdom. I want you to think about a time in your life when you faced something that seemed impossible, a time when you couldn't see a way out, but somehow, some way you made it through. Maybe it wasn't easy. Maybe it took longer than you expected, but you found a way. And if you could do it then, you can do it now. The same strength, the same resilience, the same faith that carried you through before is within you now. The way forward is not always clear. Sometimes it feels like you're walking through the fog, unsure of where the path will lead. But the important thing is to keep walking, keep moving. Even when you don't know exactly where you're headed, even when you can't see the whole picture, take one step at a time. Trust that each step you take is bringing you closer to where you're meant to be. Trust that the way will be made even when you can't see it. Life is full of twists and turns, and the path is rarely straight. But every twist, every turn, every detour is part of the journey. It's all leading you somewhere, even when it feels like you're lost. And sometimes it's in those moments of uncertainty that we find our greatest clarity. Sometimes it's in the moments when we feel most lost that we discover who we truly are. So I want you to leave here today knowing that no matter what you're facing, no matter how many times you've been knocked down, no matter how many obstacles are in your path, there is always a way. You may not see it right now, but that doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. And it will reveal itself when the time is right. In the meantime, trust the process. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Trust that every challenge you're facing is preparing you for something greater. Trust that the way forward is being made, even if you can't see it yet. And most importantly, trust that you have everything within you to navigate whatever comes your way. The way will be made, and when it is, you will look back on this moment and realize that every step, every struggle, every twist and turn was leading you exactly to where you were meant to be. So keep the faith, keep moving forward. The way is coming and you are ready for it. Thank you.